is missing 1 minute. How convenient. Epstein case? Closed. Client list? Gone.
Why is Donald Trump acting the way he is when a reporter dares to ask a question?
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. We have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep?
Explain to me what's in it for Donald Trump, who generally doesn't like keeping secrets, to do that.
Yeah, you know Epstein's innocent. Bro.
That's the funniest development. Like, we are going to unveil the truth once and for all. Turns out the guy was just a
regular guy.
Like, at all. Seriously, they sure pulled me. Shapiro Sting, take it away. For Epstein Island, it turns out all of the people that were trafficked here just didn't exist. After all, the dude isn't even alive to tell us anymore. Jenny, back to you.
We're here outside of that dude's wife's prison holding the first person ever to be convicted of trafficking to nobody. I'm here with Ghislaine, serving 20 years for having imaginary friends, thousands of Epstein victims, but 0 clients. How are you?
I 100% deserve this.
True. Where's the client list?
Israel is our greatest ally. What do you think of the verdict? How about I ask how much I got paid? No other comments. What do you think of this? Sometimes you have to just let that long arm of the law all the way into the back of your colon and just let it marinate, you know? What the heck? Sounds like we could use another Luigi, you know what I'm saying?
Right. It's almost like the so-called Semites run the court systems and media or something.
Shut it down.
You're about to watch an opinion-based podcast. This episode is not meant to be facts. It is only the opinion of the host. The host lists all references with links in the box below. Again, this is only the opinion of the host.
He's here. He's here. Now broadcasting somewhere in Northern California.
In the bowel, right to the belly of the beast.
Inside his command post. Somewhere in the brick and steel of a nondescript building. We have made contact with him. Don Rob from Don Rob Flicks.
My grandparents were in the pizza cost. You know that? How many times do I have to tell you?
sounds like Ben Shapiro.
Now, back to the goy slop.
Is that Benny boy?
Let's look at the stats. I've got the facts. My money like Lizzie.
You mentioned rap, so now we have to talk about it. The elephant in the room is that I have tweeted many times about how much I hate rap. So if I drank alcohol, it would be brandy from a snifter. I've played classical violin since I was 5 years old. I own a nice violin. My dad is a professional pianist. We play Brahms together. And so I grew up listening to classical music almost entirely, some Broadway, a lot of classic jazz like Oscar Peterson. But apparently, number one, do you think that it's racist not to like rap? Because I've been told that if I do not like rap, then this is because I do not like black people, which I find shocking since I particularly like jazz, which is a black art form.
Look at the graphs. Look at my charts.
Can we just assuage my fears here that I'm not a racist for not liking rap, and then you can convince me that I'm actually wrong about rap.
Yeah, no, I think...
Twitter has changed in radical ways. Like, it used to be that 10 years ago you could make a joke about rap not being music, and you're stupid if you disagree, and people are like, oh, that's a joke. Yeah. And now it's like, no, you meant that you hate black people. It's like,
homie, no cap. Look at the graphs. Look at my charts.
Bullshit, bro. Also, innocent of what? He was literally a guilty pet. He was busted, and they sealed the records the first time.
Wasn't it like 1,000 women?
I mean, now it just sounds like you're bragging on his behalf.
Well, that's what I was going for. I was like, if he was a one-man operator, I mean, at some point you gotta get this guy.
Will Chamberlain,
tip your hat.
Jeffrey Epstein.
You gotta tip your hat at some point. You gotta, God damn, you got a lot.
Yeah, but he was also playing in the minor leagues.
He wasn't in the minor leagues. He was in Triple-A. He was playing on the Harrisburg.
What's up, everybody? I'm not going to repeat my name to you. I'm just going to remind you, this is episode 12. I'm happy everybody's back, man. If you're here on audio only from Spotify or one of the other platforms, Amazon Music, Apple Music, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Deezer, I don't know, man. Or just go to my rss.com feed. Look my name up, Don Rob Flicks. You'll find me. You'll see all the different sources where you can listen to the show at. It's like, I think, 15 or 20 different sources where you can hear it on audio only. If you're here YouTube, you're not missing anything because you're getting full visuals of what's behind me. But again, if you're tuning in, only listening to audio, I'm going to do my best to let you know what's going on in the background behind me. But I think it's all going to be self-explanatory on this particular one. That's my goal. That's our goal. That's Miss Producer's goal. That's my goal. We're going to make that happen. And man, a lot's been going on all week, man. I mean, a lot. Stephen Colbert got fired. ICE raids are out of control. Shane Gillis, he torched everybody at the ESPYs, all them woke motherfuckers. He, to me, was fucking hilarious. But you know what, man? There's a lot of people still missing out there in Texas from those floods. There's, I think, over 100 people dead. There's still over 100 and something people missing. RFK, speaking of conspiracies, this motherfucker just, I don't know if he tossed a big one into the room or if this is a fact, but he's saying in 1991, our government, this agency right here, hid the fact that they knew that the hepatitis B vaccine caused and created an influx of, I don't know if I'm saying the right word, influx or whatever, but it increased 1,100% chances of autism in anybody that got the vaccine. And in 1991, our government was lobbied to put this fucking vaccine in all the schools. So, could that be why there's so many people with autism now, man? Because I know when I was a kid, not that many people had autism. Let me put that down. I didn't mean to drink that right now. Sorry about that. One other thing. Brother Lin Chung dropped a new single and a visual. Here it is right here. Leather.
Like to talk shit, 40 in a 25. I'm a Garden Block Crip.
Make sure you go download that shit. Pay to download it. Make sure you do it, man. You and a family member, or you and a couple of your friends, man. Share it. Pass it around to your friends. See if they'll download it. After they pay to download it, then go hit up your favorite streaming sites, man, and stream it 5,000 times, 10,000 times, however many times you want to stream it, man. But here's the thing. If you don't pay to download it, the artists don't really make money when you're streaming it like that, man. So do the artist a favor. Do Lynch a favor. Go pay to download it. Pay to download this single. Brother Lin Chung is, he constantly evolves, man. He really does. And it's a whole different podcast. Why? We'll do that some other time. I want to thank all of you for coming. This is episode 12. Again, make sure you go get that. You know what? We don't need this. Let's do this. Let's go.
What I wanted to talk about now is the resurgence of the Jeffrey Epstein story and what it is currently doing to the Trump administration. I did not see this coming. Maybe you all did. I did not. The story is that one of the big
good job on putting the background music
MAGA and the
some
Donald
intense
Trump
shit
supporters was QAnon, of course.
The fuck? QAnon? The fuck is this lady talking about, man? What about Blue Anon?
There's a conspiracy theory based in the idea that there was a cabal of elites in the United States primarily, but they had ties around the world, that were preying on children. They were cannibals, among other things, but they were also sexually abusing and sexually trafficking children. And that cabal in QAnon was supposed to include Democratic politicians. And this is how we got Pizzagate, with the idea that Hillary Clinton had a sex ring under Comet Pizza in Washington.
Anybody else hear this Pizzagate thing?
Have a basement. Democratic politicians, business people, Hollywood movie stars, and another group, and I can't remember what they were.
The question about the
gee, I wonder what group.
And my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed.
Let's not watch her. Let's go back to the other girl real quick.
Along with
Can we go back to that other girl real quick? Forget Pam. Let's go back to Pam later.
Well, that's what I meant by that.
To protect these children from sexual
I want to hear her
abuse.
crazy stories.
And many people, including Simon Rosenberg, who is a Democratic strategist,
I bet this lady has like 15 or 20 cats.
This was true too, although I didn't give a huge amount of thought to it.
Maybe 30?
This was in part a way to defend the potential for Trump's association with Jeffrey Epstein.
Mr. President, I know you've urged people to move on, but I'm curious, why do you think your supporters in particular have been so interested in the Epstein story and so upset about how it's been handled? Why do you think that is?
Why they would be so interested? He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor in terms of life. I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is. I really don't. And the credible information's been given. Don't forget, we went through years of the Mueller witch hunt and all of the different things. The Steele dossier, which was all fake. All that information was fake. but I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody.
Because we went through years hearing all your boys talk about it.
It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring.
Boys made it sound like it isn't boring.
And
What the
I
fuck?
don't understand why it keeps going.
Because your boys talked about it for 5 fucking years. They said when they get to the cookie factory, they're going to tell everybody the ingredients. They got to the cookie factory. They don't want to say the ingredients. What's going on here, President Trump? What's going on, man? I got my sick juice. I mean...
I think, well, really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that.
Look at the dude on the right. Look at that motherfucker grinning. He needs a Trump hat for that bald head, man. What the fuck? Look at that bald head.
But credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say let them have it.
Let him have it. I mean, give it to him, right? I mean, why not? Why not? I mean, what the fuck's going on with this Epstein shit, man? Someone's hiding something, man. What the fuck is going on here, man? They kept saying that we're going to get it. I don't know why we're not getting it.
Everyone to stop talking
about
Jeffrey Epstein and that so-called client list, even as he spent basically the entire day fielding questions about it, including if his own Attorney General, Pam Bondi, who was reviewing all these materials, told him his name appeared on the list.
What did she tell you about the review? And specifically, did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the
Oh, no. She's given us just a very quick briefing. And in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen, and I would say that, these files were made up by Comey. They were made up by Obama. They were made up by the Biden Obama. They were made up by the Biden
What the fuck is going on, man? He's sounding like Biden right now. I mean, he's starting to stutter the way Biden used to stutter after he lost his brain. We need some answers. For years, man, Bongino kept talking about it. Everyone was talking about it, man. I mean, is he trolling or is he really thinking everyone will just fall in line here, man? Does he? Because
it's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think, well, really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that. Fake news.
Look at that dude, man. Look at it. Look at him. Look at his fucking smile, man. Look at that motherfucker's smile, man. Look at his bald head, man. Dude, put the hat on.
This whole thing blew up last week when Bondi, who has been pretty outspoken about hyping the existence of Epstein tapes and a client list and bombshell revelations.
She sure did hype that shit up.
Going on TV to talk about all that was coming, then turned around and said, it turns out nothing to see here. Some of Trump's most diehard supporters went somewhat predictably nuts, which led to the president sharing this rambling 400-word post, infamously beginning with, "What's going on with my boys," and in some cases, gals. He said MAGA should stop talking about Jeffrey Epstein, who never dies. That the Epstein files were written by the Dems
Your
to hurt
boys
Trump,
kept talking about it, man.
Got in there somehow, but they did not release them, which is a little tough to figure out how it was going to hurt Trump.
It's crazy, man. I feel like I'm in a Twilight Zone
Trump
or
asked
something.
about the JFK and Martin Luther King Jr. assassinations, as well as his big lie of a stolen 2020 election, which is, of course, nonsense, and then reiterates that no one cares about Jeffrey Epstein. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
A lot of people care, man.
In terms of life. You can imagine there was a full revolt in response to that post on Trump's own social media network. Some choice comments, each receiving thousands of likes, including, quote, "You promised us, sir. Putting your MAGA base down is not going to make this go away." Quote, "This statement breaks my heart, Mr. President." And quote, "This is going to cost you so many supporters, I being one of them. It appears you or a loved one was in on it.
These are
you
fake
want this
people.
to go away."
Oh, his big sister must be so proud of her little brother. They look just alike. I mean, I think they're twins, but he just gained a lot of weight. Look at that fat motherfucker. He looks just like her, though.
It does not appear to be going away. Over the weekend, speakers at the conservative Turning Point USA conference
not going away.
practically had
President
their torches
Trump.
and pitchforks out,
Not
demanding
today.
the Trump administration release the Epstein files.
I will not rest until we go full Jan 6 committee.
Him and Cash Patel were always on that War Room
Jeffrey
podcast
Epstein was working on behalf
talking about
of
it.
Intel Services, probably not American.
Who would you guys prefer, Bongino or Bonnie? Okay, 7,000 to 0.
They want Dan.
Release all the Epstein files.
You can do it!
How many of you are not satisfied with the results of the investigation?
I'm not. Are you guys?
I mean, even SNL comedian Rob Schneider is calling for the release of the Epstein files.
You can do it!
But now,
Everybody is,
many
dude.
of those same people are, you'll never guess. According to one report, get this, Trump personally called Charlie Kirk, who co-founded and organized the entire conference, and then
Charlie Kirk
and
used to
others,
work for Junior.
I certainly softened their tone.
Plenty was said this last weekend at our event about Epstein. Honestly, I'm done talking about Epstein.
Oh, you're
for the
done
time
now,
being.
huh? After
I'm gonna
having
trust
everybody
my friends
talk
in the
about it.
administration. I'm going to trust my friends in the government to do what needs to be done.
Sure you are,
Solve
dude.
it. Balls in their hands.
I'm going to talk about
You
the
got in trouble.
Epstein files, and I'm going to make the
You guys know who
case
this guy is, right?
that even though there are unanswered questions about Epstein, it is in fact time to move on.
What did he just say?
Even though there are unanswered questions about Epstein, it is in fact time to move on.
Oh, okay. Let's just move on. How about not?
I have some info on this, but before I tell you what I've got, Donald Trump was asked this at the White House today.
Fast forwarding this, we just saw it.
I have spoken with multiple people who have seen parts or all of the file. What I am told is there is no list. It's true, there is no list.
His boy's like,
there are tons of names
there's a list.
in
There's
these
a list.
files. And this is what I'm told from people who have had access to this, that Jeffrey Epstein was a braggadocious guy who loved, dropping names, and and two people separately said to me, it's almost like he was trying to blackmail them, that he would just, use their names and have them present. And it's not like he
strikes me as the kind of guy who would say, look whose phone number I have.
Exactly. And people wrote this all the time. So I'm told.
Could Harvey be on that list too?
Fidel Castro is listed there. There are tons of people, and almost all of them didn't do anything untoward, at least this is what I'm told, that Donald Trump's name is in there several times, but there's nothing, I'm told, that's untoward with him
You understand that his supporters feel that if you don't
Are
say
you in there,
I get it
Harvey?
from a legal standpoint, why you don't want to just put all those names out there, but his supporters, and
Were
that's
you
what's
with,
weird about
were
this.
you with
It's like-
young
it's
men,
almost like
young boys?
Dr. Frankenstein, and now the monster has come back on him. Like, MAGA, he fed into these conspiracy theories and said that he's going to release these files and all that.
Well,
and
he
now
was-
that it's
he was a little
he was
tentative.
thinking about it, yes, but he certainly fueled that during the campaign,
So, and
now it has come back to bite him in the ass. The
Absolutely.
monster is coming back.
Okay.
All these people are acting a little funny style, man. Even TMZ's acting funny style.
let's get into what does he do?
While the pressure builds around Justice
fuck's
Department
going on,
officials, the Daily Mail is reporting that a source close to Ghislaine Maxwell says she is willing and eager to appear before Congress if she's asked to testify about the elusive Epstein client list.
That's right. Maxwell has Epstein's and was Epstein's closest confidant. She was convicted back in 2022 for her involvement in his illicit lifestyle in New York and in Palm Beach, as well on his private island.
CBS 12's I-Team chief Mike Magnoli is live with us in the
damn.
studio with more on these developments surrounding Maxwell. Mike?
So
My bad,
Liz,
you guys. There was a
here's the
spider on my
question.
fucking chair
If Maxwell
just now.
were to appear before Congress, and if President
Trying not
Trump
to have her
is
pause
on
this.
that Epstein client list, would that torpedo her chances for a presidential pardon? Now, this is all speculation. The Daily Mail isn't naming their source. But when I sat down with Jeffrey Epstein's former lawyer, Alan Dershowitz, we talked about
Alan
Maxwell.
Dershowitz.
I'm gonna
He was
play that
Trump's
for
lawyers
you
too,
in
right?
its
Yeah, he was
entirety.
Trump's lawyer.
But first, there was a question
Kinda-
about the death
he was
of
on that
Epstein.
island too.
Much is being made about the just released jail tape and how there is one
He's all over
minute
them flight
of
logs.
missing footage.
You guys, look.
What happened to him?
You guys recognize him? He's all over them logs too.
To commit suicide. He didn't commit suicide by himself. That's clear.
The fuck? Huh?
Either he was helped to commit suicide or somebody killed him. And I don't know the answer to that question. I think it'd be very hard to get people into a prison.
What a lawyer!
to kill
What a
him.
lawyer
And
kind of
especially
answer.
That Monday, they were going to be arguing.
didn't make
for
any
his
sense.
bail, and he had a good chance of getting bail. And the biggest mistake he made, just forget about the terrible things he did, he was living nicely in Paris, and he couldn't have been extradited from Paris. And he came to the United States, and his lawyers, I had stopped being his lawyer 10 years earlier, but his lawyers apparently didn't give him sufficient warning that he might be under investigation.
Good.
I have
I never would have encouraged him to come back to the country because
the fuck did you just say?
We knew they were out to get him.
The fuck? He would have helped him? Did I just hear that right? He would have told him, don't come to America?
And for good reason.
What if Ghislaine came to you, asked for help?
I would help her. I think she has been mistreated. I think her sentence is way, way, way too long.
Man.
And I would hope that
she's the one that reeled in all the girls.
Commuting her sentence.
Wow.
She gave each girl an extra $100 for every other girl they would bring. You guys realize that?
She was a victim.
He just said he'd help her.
She was a perpetrator and a victim, both. She was his partner. But
did you ever meet her? You've met her.
Yeah, I've met her a number of times.
Man.
I met her before I knew Jeffrey
These
Epstein.
defense attorneys, they're fucking adult.
Yeah. I knew her through
slimy,
her English,
you guys.
connections and through her Israeli connections.
Do you think because
father
he's dead and
was
gone
big.
now, we as a culture need a fall guy?
With Israeli connections, you guys.
I think if he hadn't died, she never would have suffered the consequences she'd suffered. And the idea of such a long sentence
she would have.
that she
Her
would,
dad died like 30,
possibly even
35
die
years
in prison.
ago.
He was much
fell off his boat,
to
his yacht.
what is alleged against her.
Her dad fell off a boat, off his yacht, you guys, that was named after his daughter, Ghislaine. Real shit, look it up.
Body language.
Let's figure out how to identify liars.
Clinical and forensic psychologist, as well as a body language expert. All right, let's go. Now we're going to watch President Trump responding directly to questions about Panama.
You guys got your notepad?
Mr. President, your daughter, Mr. President.
We're going to take some notes here and learn a lot here, and then in the end, we're going to use this on someone else ourselves. So you guys ready? Take notes.
The Attorney General's handled that very well. She's really done a very good job, and I think that when you look at it, you'll understand that. I would like.
Now, one thing you're already noticing is he's not talking at all with his hands. When he really wants you to hear something, when he really wants to emphasize something, he pulls his hands out. He gets very emphatic. Right now, you're not seeing any of that, which means that he wants you to hear what he's saying, but he's not putting a lot of feeling behind it. Because possibly he doesn't want this to be focused on like many of the other things that he talks about.
You think?
Now we're going to watch some footage of President Trump in Palm Beach, Florida in 1992. He's at a party with Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, shit. Epstein.
Now, the body language of Jeffrey Epstein is quite different than I expected. Look how closed off he is. I mean, I'm sure anybody that's been to a party has seen people, or maybe you've experienced this, where people are standing around with their arms crossed. That is not a sign that you're having a good time or that you're comfortable at all. So right now, Jeffrey Epstein looks tremendously uncomfortable.
He does.
Whereas if you'll watch President Trump, he's pretty much the opposite. He seems to be enjoying himself. But we're gonna watch this. I'll explain more as we go. See, there was an awkward interaction right there. He was trying to speak to President Trump. President Trump turned around to speak with somebody else.
He shunned him.
Jeffrey Epstein basically acted like he wasn't trying to talk to him.
That was funny.
To get his attention. He didn't touch him. He didn't try to get his attention by grabbing his
That's
arm,
happened to
or
all
putting
of
his hand
us,
on his back or something like that.
That
He didn't
dude,
physically
he
try
knows
to get his
everybody
attention.
and is a
He
baller.
just gave up. And I
It's his
think this
party.
shows that Jeffrey Epstein is probably a pretty awkward guy. So as you see, he's still standing there with his arms crossed, still looking very uncomfortable.
Damn. Walked away as he's talking to him. That was funny. Look at Trump.
If you saw President Trump on the campaign trail, that dance he just did is exactly the same as the one
He's
that
in
he
his
still
late
does.
40s right here.
But as you can see, he's trying to have a good time. He's hanging out. He's talking to people. He leans in. He's probably someone who enjoys to party, it looks like.
Huh. You think?
You see him biting his lip right now. He's feeling very intense.
Because he knows about the fuck. He knows about the bone down. This motherfucker's a billionaire.
So as you can see, President Trump is leaning in, trying to talk to everybody, trying to make contact with people, whereas Jeffrey Epstein seems a lot more reserved, a lot more uncomfortable.
This is right around the time he was on Home Alone. He made that cameo appearance.
See, he's excited about the idea that NBC is there.
Trump's always been excited. That dude's nervous because he don't want NBC there.
See, moving around as much as he can, pointing at
is
everything.
happy
He
about
wants
it,
to be seen.
But look how
He
nervous
wants to
that
be
other dude
noticed at
looks,
this
Jeff,
party.
whatever his
Because
name.
Jeffrey Epstein continues to try to hide. He continues to just sit uncomfortably, closing his body off right now. And it's not that people
NBC
can't
is
feel
there,
comfortable with
but
their
Trump's
arms crossed.
excited because
but in
he
a
likes
situation like
attention.
this, it suggests discomfort. This looks like someone who's uncomfortable. And look at the smile going off and
was a
on
little weird.
Jeffrey Epstein's face. Once again, discomfort. He's trying to laugh. He's trying to smile. He's trying to get along and have a good time. But it's not an authentic smile.
Trump's like partying and shit, and that dude's like nervous as fuck. Trump's like, look at all this pussy around me. Look at all these bitches. Oh, my bad, I got it. Make sure you bleep that word. All right? Thank you.
You see how quickly it comes and goes?
Huh.
So you saw President Trump say she's hot, and he had very little reaction to that. He tried
that's
not
why he
to.
bit his lip
Just
earlier.
seems
He
very
plans on
awkward and
fucking.
uncomfortable. Now, see, this was a reaction that most people would interpret as he's just doubled over in laughter. But I think it's more that the discomfort makes him hide his face. That he's wanting to show I'm having a reaction. He's trying to show President Trump, I'm having a reaction to what you're saying, and it's so funny. So he's leaning over. But in a lot of ways, that's so he can't see his genuine reactions, who he's overreacting to this. Because his body language is not consistent with someone who's having a good time.
Trump, you could tell he's having a good time.
And see, he faces away. This is a way to get out of social situations. What we're looking at right here is someone who is very, very awkward and very uncomfortable in these kind of situations.
Like I said, because NBC's there, and he plans.
So the interesting thing about watching them together is it seems like, based on what we're seeing, is that President Trump just wants to have a good time. The way he does that is making sure everybody else around him is laughing, having a good time. Whereas Jeffrey Epstein seems deeply uncomfortable.
Hopefully it was,
what I'm observing.
Started
the
with
older
a bang.
On the night of the staff.
Could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
So the first impulse, I want to answer for you, right? Trump wanted to intervene.
I don't like this guy's
But notice
voice.
what happens. Let's see if you can spot that.
Why are we watching this guy? Go back to that bald dude. He's better.
You can already see the look of disapproval on President Trump's mouth. When he purses his lips together in this way, that is a distinct look of disapproval.
Your memo and release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries.
He knows this is all
one of the
bad.
biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former Labor Secretary.
That was a look of confusion. You saw her mouth close, her head shake. She was not anticipating they were going to ask about that. There's so many other questions people are concerned about, the client list, all of that kind of stuff. So the idea that he asked about him working for a foreign intelligence agency threw her through a loop.
For a American or foreign intelligence agency, the former Labor Secretary.
Breathe heavy into the mic. Sorry, guys.
U.S. Attorney Alex Costa, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you...
You can see she's nodding along with this. She does want to make sure that the reporter feels heard. So part of that is she is trying to connect right now because I do think she wants to address this. She wants to get these things out of the way.
She has to, man. She's been talking about this shit for months.
I think if anybody has already seen this knows that he is getting ready to talk, but you're seeing some precursor to that. You're seeing him prepare for that.
Intelligence agency. So could you
That's the first time I've seen this
whether or
part
not
of
he
it.
did, and also could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the staff?
Yeah, sure. If could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about...
So you can see Pam Bondi, she brushed her hair behind her ear after that.
Nervous.
We do that to ventilate a little bit when we're starting to feel anxious. Even though she doesn't have an overt sign of anxiety, even though she's nodding.
The
she
boss
looks like
man
she's
just
keyed in.
cut her off.
There's little things like that that suggest that this is a high-stakes, intense situation.
Yeah, sure. If could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years.
Yes, we are.
You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all...
True.
So watch President Trump's hands right here. All right, so he's got his hands up like this. Now, in some ways, sometimes when people do this, it's a way to say stop. It's also a way to say, look, I haven't done anything wrong. And I don't mean that as in he hasn't done anything related to the Epstein situation. He's trying to say, I made the right decisions here. Like, I'm the one who's in charge. I've made the right decisions. Whatever the DOJ has come to, we need to move on.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
And his body language right here is actually very open. So I know there's a lot of theories about why they think that President Trump is wanting to keep this suppressed or something like that. I don't think, just to be clear from the body language we're seeing, that it's anything like that he's afraid of being exposed for something. I think that it's more that he's afraid that people will see it as a failure on his part. That his administration
I agree
is
with
something
this
that
guy.
is incredibly unpopular with everybody, regardless of which side of the political spectrum they're on.
I agree with this guy.
Gravely unpopular what has happened.
No matter what, it's unpopular.
This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy?
Everyone's talking about it. Yep.
So once again, this is an odd deflection because people don't really care about Jeffrey Epstein. They care about the fact that they believe there are other people that are involved that are roaming free. So that it's a strange deflection, and I'm sure that President Trump knows what people are actually concerned about. So why he's choosing to try to sort of guilt people into thinking about or talking about this right now, or to not talk about these things right now because of what's going on in Texas and all of that, which is incredibly important. It's an incredibly strange and different type of deflection than he normally does.
It's creep.
It is.
That is
different.
Unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
Because he always wanted to talk about it, you know, and now he doesn't.
At a time like this.
See, he's using the hands for emphasis. I can't believe you're asking a question. And he's someone who focuses a lot on relationships. He focuses on the person that's sitting in front of him. So he is going to want the
journalist
to not want to ask questions like that again.
But we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said...
You said it was
asked
phase
a
one.
Question about the client list, and my response...
So the first you saw that
she said it was phase one on that Fox interview.
Something that doesn't exist.
Because I said, I was asked a question about the
Look at Mark
client
Rubio.
list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk
just sitting
to be
there
reviewed,
like, I'm going to run for president in
the file,
2028.
along with the JFK, MLK files as well.
Now, she's someone who is very, I said this earlier, she's someone who's very precise when she speaks.
That's true.
So the idea that she would have misspoken or that's not what she meant seems unusual. It would be very surprising that it would be taking her this long to clarify that point.
That's what I meant by
Agreed.
that. The file, along.
See, when she said the file, that makes me a little bit concerned that there's something deceptive about the way that she's saying that. She's closing her eyes, she says file, and consciously we're doing that so we don't have to look at the person when we say it.
Sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning
This
the
guy's
file, along with the JFK, MLK
I like watching
files
you guys.
as
Hey, just so you
well.
guys
That's
know,
what
not
I
to
meant
talk
by
over
that.
her, but
Also,
this
to
guy
the
does a
tens
lot
thousands
of
videos
whole case files
downloaded
and
by that
things like that.
disgusting
It's
Jeffrey
pretty cool, man. He watches.
So once
gives
again,
his opinion
she's using
on
the same line that Caroline Leavitt did, which is that we're not going to share. We don't want people to see this awful evidence. Nobody's asking. Nobody would want to see that. That has nothing to do with anything that's upsetting anybody.
They were never going to be released, never going to see the light of day.
See, never going to be released. She's saying this aggressively. Focus on what I'm saying right here. This is the message I want you to get.
She always
When it's
tries to use that
immaterial,
tough
nobody
voice.
cares
You
about
guys,
that. That
I
has
noticed
nothing to
that in
do with
a
anything
lot of her
anybody's ever
interviews.
asked for.
To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video.
So when she says that, I have no knowledge of that. Watch this.
To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you.
I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to that. I actually think that's true. Whether or not she believes it or thinks maybe there's something to that, she does not have information on that, I don't think.
On that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive.
So look at the way she's emphasizing this now. She wasn't moving her hands that much, but now she's really talking about this minute missing. She's looking over at President Trump and Marco Rubio. She is really trying to emphasize this, and I think that she means this. Whether or not you think that's why that minute was cut out, I'm sure plenty of people have their own theories about that, but this is something she believes. She believes that this minute is not cut out for any sort of nefarious reason. She actually does believe that this minute is cut out because that's the way that the software works. We're going to get into that. We're going to see in a second. But as she's looking around at everybody, this is the first time she's trying to connect with other people because she's trying to say, look, this is true. This is really something that's happened.
Showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was.
And she just said the video was not conclusive, which fascinates me. So in other words, they're saying that there's nothing on the video that's conclusive about what happened to him, but I thought they said that the whole video did prove exactly what, at least Dan Bongino had said, the video is going to prove our point.
He did.
Quality's not
We should
great,
clip
but it
into
proves
that.
it.
Do you have
She's saying
that?
the video is
Oh,
inconclusive.
you don't? All right.
Showing definitively the video was not conclusive, But
sorry, guys. You know how I like to do it.
prior
I'd like
to
to
it
clip
was
in and show
showing he
what he's
committed
talking about. But
and what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned
producer
from
lady
Bureau of
didn't
Prisons
do
was
you know, her
every
proper
year,
homework.
every night, they redo that.
See, look how much more animated she is
Sorry.
when she's talking about this, because this is something that I think she actually fully believes.
That video is old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that.
Now we
as
find
well,
out
showing
it's
that a
3
minute is
minutes.
missing every night. And that's
did you know that
on
it's 3 minutes? You
And
need
then
to
to
find
smile
that
at the
clip
end.
too.
We oftentimes do that as a way to punctuate what we're saying, to say, I'm not answering anything else about this. Let's stop now. Hopefully this has helped you better understand some of the behavior and body language that we saw.
It did.
So to answer the question,
But let's
is there
keep
an
going.
Epstein
We
list?
have more
Well,
for you
based on the
guys.
body language, it certainly seems likely that there probably is. Based on what she said at the beginning, it seemed very affirmative that there was a list sitting on her desk. It also seemed like later on, we're seeing people that are showing signs that maybe they are not being entirely forthcoming. Do I think that there's a list? I think that there probably is.
I do too.
Do I think that based on that first clip that Pam Bondi
I just
knew
don't
that
think it's the
that
kind of list
would
we
never
all
be
think it
released?
is. I think
that
it's a
seems
list
very
of
possible. Like I said, that's
a
the
lot
most
of powerful
ambiguous thing
people.
out of all of these clips that we saw. But basically what we're
Which
seeing,
is what we all
at
think
least
it is.
more currently when we look at Caroline
But I think
Leavitt,
it is smaller
President
than
Trump,
we
and more
all
recently
assume
Pam
it
Bondi,
is.
it looks like they are trying to deflect what people's concerns are. They're not. They're talking about bringing people to justice, and they're talking about the awful content that has been collected.
I don't think the
but
dude
nobody's
even
asking
is
them
dead.
to release anything like that, and that's really
I
what
think
they're
they snuck him
emphasizing.
out and he's on an island.
Why is she smiling? Why is she smiling? I don't understand. That
Maybe she's
was
nervous.
really creepy and odd and disgusting. This is a topic.
Could be a nervous
This
smile,
is a
but yeah, something
really
shady there.
disgusting topic in general. This is concerning
Yeah, she shouldn't
everything
be
that has
smiling
been
at
happening
all.
around Jeffrey Epstein and all the people involved. I don't think that's something that is worth, smiling for. No, I don't think that's how we humans work. Humans with empathy.
You're asking,
I
we
still
have
don't like his
Texas,
voice,
we
though.
have this, we have all of the things.
Give me a break. And just for the record, we have the exact words that she said back in the day.
There are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child.
We have tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children. I'm going to play that again.
There are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or
of Epstein with children. That is first grade English. Epstein with children. And what does she claim now? That those were...
They turned out to be child downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein.
She doesn't even say that it's the victims with a Jeffrey Epstein. No, those were downloaded. This is infuriating. The question has to be asked as many times as it's needed, because this is gross. No other word defines this. No other word can describe what is happening with this.
And there are hundreds of victims, and no one victim will ever get released.
Downloaded from the internet, that the videos are, the victims are elsewhere, that we're not the ones brought to the island. How does that work?
Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that.
To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. Being an agent, an international agent, using this mission to gather all these videos to be able to blackmail politicians, celebrities, powerful people.
Yeah, no, that was a good
everywhere.
idea.
I have no knowledge of that.
You don't have to.
Russia,
all right.
folks. With all of the different things that we had to go through, we've gone through years of it. But she's handled it very well, and it's going to be up to her. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release. Yeah, Attorney General,
I like this guy. He's
credibility is
better.
very important, and you want credible evidence for something
Seems more
like
legit,
that.
not
and
like
I think the Attorney General is
like he's trying to, get extra content and, using a fake voice.
On the DOJ and FBI.
Just to be clear,
Yeah.
maybe
Oh, that's
it's
his real
obvious,
voice?
but he's not stepping in any way other than trying to hear better, I think. So in that sense, I wouldn't read too much into that body language.
He is 79 years old.
On what? On the...
Although, let's watch this right here. I want you to listen to this part again. I'm going to explain what just happened.
I'm only 30 and I'm losing my eyesight in my hearing. Just kidding. I'm not only 30.
So he said the Attorney General, or she said the Attorney General.
I wish it was.
On the findings of the review. You saw the chin go up. He's trying to show you he's above this. He doesn't really need to answer questions about this. He is trying to physically show you that he doesn't like this and that he's above this line of questioning.
He is above it, but at the same time, he needs to answer because, you know, his boys.
On what? On what subject?
Epstein. On Epstein.
And I've talked about before how relationships are important to him. You can hear he sounds more curt than usual. He sounds a little bit irritated as he's being asked this. He's asking for clarification, which I presume that he doesn't actually need. I think that he could figure out from context they were already talking about Epstein, but he wanted the person to say it because it's going to be more uncomfortable.
Yeah, he's being a smart ass.
It annoys him. So in this situation right here, he is pressing
taking control
of the situation. He's trying to make it uncomfortable so that other people won't ask those questions, or people that maybe have a good relationship with him won't ask those questions.
Exactly.
On what? On what subject?
Epstein. On Epstein. Of the review of the file.
See, this guy's good.
I'm
glad you found him. I'm glad you introduced this guy to me.
What did she tell you about the review? And specifically, did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the file?
No. She's given us just a very quick brief.
So you're not really seeing any reaction when she talked about his name being in the files. As I've said previously, I really don't think that's the focus. I think that it has more to do with other people. I really don't think that he's worried about himself. I
kind of do too, you guys. I think he's covering up for some other people that.
And in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen, and I would say that, you know, these files were made up by Comey, they were made up by Obama, they were made up by the Biden information, you know.
So what you're seeing now is you're seeing him emphasize with his body again. This
Keep
is the way
Obama out of it, dude.
He talks. He uses his hands a lot, he uses his body a lot to speak. He's a very kinetic speaker in that way. So when he's talking about it being Comey or Obama or the Biden administration, you're seeing a lot more emphasis there. That's
Comey,
really
I
what
could
he
see,
wants you to
yeah.
focus on.
Different things that they've seen. And I would say that, you know, these files
I
were
don't
made
think
up
Obama,
by
maybe
Comey,
Obama in the back.
they were made up by Obama, they were made up by the Biden information, you know. We went through years of that with the Russia.
You also see now he is leaning in a little bit further. Now, this I don't think is so much because he can't hear. I think that he's feeling more intense about this and he wants people to hear this. So you're seeing the body lean forward. And as he's talking about the Russia things, he's really starting to get back at it. His hands are starting to come out. You can see it if you watch his shoulders. You can see his arms are moving.
He's
again.
pissed.
He's really starting to feel it.
He's like,
and this is where he tends to shine when he is feeling really strong.
Something's
about something
in that shit, man.
If you look at this body
something's
language,
in there, you
what
guys.
it was like really talking about this,
and it's
very,
not
very
about
different.
him, but it's
now we're going to watch
something
Bill
big.
Gates talking about this. Part of what I want to do is to actually see people that have met,
this is a good one here.
with Jeffrey Epstein talking about him. I thought it could
I've
be
seen
interesting
this.
to see the body language
You
associated
guys
with
take
this.
some notes.
This clip itself
Watch
is actually
this.
quite interesting. Let's just get back into it.
What did you know about
Very
him when
interesting.
you were meeting with him, as you've said yourself, in the hopes of raising money?
You know, I had dinners with him.
So you can already tell that he's very uncomfortable. Look at how his hands are clasped.
Sketchy boy.
He's covering his chest a little bit.
That motherfucker's
this
sketchy,
is not
huh?
something that he wants to talk about, but he's willing to, so I give him credit for that for sure. And he
has no
immediately
choice.
starts holding his ring finger. If you notice, he starts fiddling with his ring finger. So I always think that
Went through a divorce right after this, you guys.
It tends to
If
have
you remember
something to do,
right.
obviously, with marriage, or is making them think something about that.
Regret doing that. He had relationships with people he said, you know, would give to global health, which is a.
Now look at the angle of his face. He has stopped looking directly at the person that's interviewing him. Instead, he's giving you the side of it. He is too uncomfortable to be directly facing this individual, and his eyes or his gaze
That
is completely
motherfucker
averted.
hooked up
He's
with some
glancing
young
over.
girls, you
But
guys.
The fact that he's trying to disengage as much as
Just
possible
my opinion.
shows how
It's not a
extremely
fact.
uncomfortable
Don't
he
sue
is
me,
right now.
Mr. Gates.
I regret doing that. He had relationships with people he said, you know, would give to global health, which is a interest I have. You know, not nearly enough philanthropy goes in that direction.
Good excuse.
And look, he just continues to clasp his fingers together. But you can feel the discomfort in this video.
You know, those meetings were a mistake. They didn't result in what he proposed.
So for a second there, he was about to start steepling. Watch this right here.
Were a mistake. They didn't result in.
So this steepling, we do this when we're an expert at something. When we want to be the smartest guy in the room, we do this to show that off a little bit. But he's not feeling confident. Maybe that's
I hate
something
the
that
smartest guy in the room. I can't
so
stand when someone's like that. What about you guys? It bothers me, man. It really does. It irritates me.
What he purported, and I cut them off.
See, instead he's rubbing his fingers together, trying to stimulate himself because this feels so uncomfortable.
They didn't result in.
He's nervous.
And when he said they didn't result, when he opened his arms up like that, that's probably very true, is that these relationships did not result in him getting funding or money from what he was hoping from Jeffrey Epstein or his associates.
He purported, and I cut them off. That goes back a long time ago now. So there's nothing.
See, you can see he looked up when he said a long time ago. He wants you to think about just how far away this is. This isn't recent. This is a long time ago. So he's trying to illustrate that with his body.
They didn't result in what he purported, and I cut them off. That goes back a long time ago now. So there's nothing new on that.
Don't judge me.
It was reported that you continue.
And you could see, watch his mouth.
Time ago now. So there's nothing new on that.
So there's nothing new on that. He's pursing his lips. He's partially showing disapproval and also saying, I'm not saying anything else. So there's a lot that the mouth is saying right here.
It was reported that you continue to meet with him over several
That
years.
motherfucker just.
So she said several years. You immediately saw a head shake no. He's trying to disagree with that idea.
And that, in other words, a number of meetings.
Probably went to Thailand.
What did you
or
do
something
when
like
you
that
found
with
out
that
about
dude.
his background?
Well, and I've said I regretted having those dinners, and there's absolutely nothing new on that.
I thought we were gonna have popcorn made for
That's
this.
very true. If you watch his hands, watch this.
Brown.
No.
Well,
all right.
So he's basically
DoorDash
saying,
it.
I don't know. I don't know what to say right now. That's what he's trying to express.
And, I've said I regretted having those dinners.
That motherfucker's so nervous right now. Look at him. Look at his
He's
face.
looking away. He's uncomfortable. But as he's saying, I regretted having those dinners.
Yeah,
I
look at his
believe that's
face.
true.
He's
I
crooked.
think that there's really honest body language that he wishes he hadn't done that.
There's absolutely nothing new on that.
Yeah.
And you can hear him
He
laughing
regrets
through this.
meeting
The
with those little
discomfort is
girls.
so elevated that he laughs in order to try to
fucking
soothe himself
motherfucker,
as he
man.
talks about
You
it.
know he did that.
Is there a lesson
Look at him.
for you, for
That's why his wife left him.
anyone else looking at this?
Well, he's dead. So, in general, you always have to be careful.
Okay, hold on. Let me get to break this down.
Whoa.
That was a pretty wild
Man.
statement. And just to be clear, I do
Yeah,
not
it
think he was
was.
involved in Jeffrey Epstein's death in any way. I don't believe that's what this is implying, but I do think it can apply some other
Okay,
things.
yeah, I don't either.
But
I
want you to hear
don't
the
come after
question,
me,
and
Gates.
then I want you to listen to the answer because they're
Wow.
really completely unrelated.
Is there a
I've
lesson
never heard
for
that.
you,
Whoa.
for anyone else looking at this?
So is there a lesson for you or anyone looking in on this? Just to keep in mind, like that's the question he was asked.
Well, he's dead. So, in general, you always have to be careful.
So keep in mind that the reason he said that is that's the first thing that came to his mind. We only say what's on our minds. So the idea that is there a lesson to be learned? Well, he's dead.
Wow.
I take that as there's relief here. Let's watch his face and you'll see what I mean.
he's
in
glad he's
general, you
gone.
always have to be careful.
Whoa.
In general, you always have to be careful. You see a smile that comes with that. Like
I
said,
forgot about
I
this
don't
part
think
of
of
the
this
clip
as some
when
sort
I
of
watched it before.
deviousness
I didn't-
on Bill Gates' part.
I don't
that
think
he
I
was
saw
involved
this
in
far
any way,
into it.
shape, or form. But I do think that he probably feels relief. I think that's what we're seeing right now. I'm seeing relief on his face after acknowledging.
Yeah,
Jeffrey
that's
Epstein's
crazy.
death when they're talking about lesson learned. Let's go back, watch this one last time.
Is there a lesson
Relief.
for you, for anyone else looking at this?
Well, he's dead. So, in general, you always have to be careful.
Man, I can hear that 10
And,
more times and trip out each time.
So, in general, you always have to be careful.
Whoa.
He's hesitating to speak. He raises one shoulder. It's non-committed.
Look at that smile.
It's like he wants to say something but doesn't know how to express it. So, the discomfort is palpable throughout this entire interview.
Dead. So,
You guys, this guy's a professional
in
therapist.
general, you always have to be careful. And
body language expert.
I'm very proud of what we've done in philanthropy. Very proud.
Similar to what you saw with Donald Trump a minute ago, even though The contexts are completely different. As he's saying, I'm very proud of what I've done in philanthropy. You see his hands come back out. He's trying
Trump
to
seemed
double
way
down on this,
more,
make sure that's what you're focusing on.
Confident in himself. This
very
motherfucker.
proud of what we've done in philanthropy. Very proud of the work of the foundation.
Look at him. He just looks
that's
scared.
That's what I get up every day and focus on.
Just the strangest, most sort of meandering, uncomfortable response like you could possibly imagine to that question. Epstein's deposition. We have very little of it, and the quality is pretty atrocious. But we're going to see if there's anything that we can glean from it.
Make sure you guys have your notepads out, all right? We're going to need all what this guy's
Now
teaching
look how
you
relaxed his body looks.
in a minute,
His
all
hand
right?
isn't even fully standing up. He's trying to appear relaxed. That's a way to maintain power. Is no matter how much chaos is going on around me, I'm going to stay cool and calm and collected.
Wow.
I'm not affected by any of this. That's what he wants to give off right now.
You're about to give away the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you guide.
But watch
That's a
his eyes when
psycho.
she says the truth. You see him blink a bit.
That's a
because he has
psycho
no
right there,
intention
you
of being
guys.
fully honest.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony
He's
you're
a
about
true
to give away the
psychopath.
truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you guide?
Yes, I do.
/spy.
But see all of these little gestures, scratching his chin, he's taking deep breaths. He's trying to appear as relaxed as possible, which is smart in a situation like this. It does give off a sense of power. It does make people in the room question whether or not they're getting to you.
Could you please give us your name? Jeffrey Epstein.
You'll also notice how he's holding onto his glasses. Now, not everybody that holds onto something like a pen or glasses or whatever is being deceptive, but people that are going to be deceptive love having props. It helps them feel calmer. It makes them more confident when they're lying. So I'm not surprised at all that right now that's his initial position, even though he's ultimately going to put them on.
Is it true, sir, that
Immediately, you're seeing contempt. I mean, immediately, as soon as that attorney starts speaking, he puts contempt right across his mouth. Now, typically, emotions are both sides of the face. Contempt is the one exception, so it's really easy to spot when people are feeling contemptuous, and he's not trying to hide it. He wants you to see that he's feeling contempt here.
is it true, sir, that you have what's been described as an egg-shaped penis?
Form, vague, indefinite, and I'm going to give you the first one of Mr. Coogan.
Never seen this. Right
So as you
here.
can hear, the attorney is
That's
asking
funny.
him questions that are clearly meant to agitate. And it doesn't
have an
actually seem to be
egg-shaped
visibly
dick.
working. He's not showing much body language that is bothering him. Now you're seeing his neck tucked down because we do that to keep ourselves defended. We're vulnerable when we show our necks. So right now there's some defensiveness. I'm not sure that question specifically was one that actually bothered him that much.
Form, vague, indefinite.
Yeah, I'm
and
sure it
going
didn't.
to give you
That's some
the
funny
first
shit.
One of Mr. Coogan, that these types of questions are not only argumentative, but directed in a manner to embarrass Mr. Epstein. If you continue with this type of question, I will adjourn the deposition immediately.
To embarrass him.
Sir, according to the police
there
department's
must have been
probable
women
cause
that
affidavit, one witness
identified
described
him, and that's how they're going to figure that out,
says
right, guys? I mean,
oval-shaped
don't that make
and
sense?
claimed when erect, it was thick towards the bottom, but was thin and small towards the head portion, and called it.
So clearly he's looking to others for backup.
You're having fun with this, huh?
Questions
Why'd
like
you?
this, it's possible they could agitate him.
Is that how you like
I really
it?
don't think that they do. I think that he sees this as a great opportunity to deflect.
My producer's
any sort
a
of
girl,
real
you guys.
response.
Don't
so there's a
trip.
mistake in asking questions like this. I think that the
She's
attorney
over
was probably
29,
trying
over
to
30.
agitate him. I would assume that's the case. I mean, it's
I won't say
clearly
your real age. Don't
a pretty
worry.
wild question to ask anybody. But as you can see, he's remaining calm throughout this. He stays defensive because he doesn't want to give up too much, but he's remaining calm. He's looking back and forth, looking to make sure that this is okay or that see if things are going to be adjourned, because he knows that these questions are inappropriate. I don't think they actually bother him that
He's
much.
getting a signal from his
They're
attorney.
egg-shaped. Those are not my words. I apologize. But as Mr. Critton has stated, that this is a.
Look, he just got a green light from his
I'm willing to
attorney to do what he's doing.
So when it comes to
You heard
guys
that,
like
right?
him, you're
It's
never
now
going to win
adjourned.
a war of trying to agitate them too much in a situation like this by starting off that strong. You'd have to be a lot more subtle about
Yeah,
it,
especially
because
a
he knows
guy that's a
ultimately
spy for
that
another
just makes him an
country,
out.
right?
He's not going to have to answer questions.
I don't know that for a fact. It's
strategically,
just,
I think
my
it's a great
opinion.
idea. And also, it seemed that he
I'm
was
just,
probably
you know.
able to remain fairly calm through this. He's probably a psychopath. You would have
Assuming.
to do the kinds of things that he's been accused of. So it's going to take a
Yeah, he's
lot
a psychopath,
to really,
I agree.
truly rile him up.
That motherfucker. And you know what? I don't think he's dead. I don't think he's dead, you guys. I think he's still around. I think he's still existing. I think Probably has a whole new face. Who knows, man?
We're going to watch
And
part
you
of an
know what?
interview from
Fuck it, who
TV Talk
cares?
with Ghislaine Maxwell.
So they wake you up at 6.
Got her.
And you can go to breakfast, which consists of a cereal and a fruit.
So one thing we're already noticing, there's a lot of stress here. Now, she's the one who is a socialite, and even behind bars, people can still sort of act like themselves, but she's touching her lips, she's moving around, her hair is disorganized. There's something about her right now that seems very distressed, actually, as she's talking about life in prison.
Cereal?
But not in a way that we oftentimes see with,
breakfast in
with people that are in
prison,
prison, because if you watch my videos, I do a ton of true crime. So this actually stands out as a little unusual, honestly.
A cereal.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
And a fruit, a piece of fruit, generally. And then...
It's more than I usually eat.
And you see her blink rates picking up. More and more stress. There's something going on in her head that really seems to be stressing her out as she's talking about her morning routine.
You have to...
Well, she's only been 20 years in prison.
Style.
You think that could be what's going on
So
in her
there's
head?
nothing that's sticking out or whatever. It has to be a prescribed way, otherwise you can...
The dude's not an idiot.
To trouble.
He's a pretty smart
We're going to skip around a little bit, but this is the beginning of the interview. Her baseline is so strange. She seems so uncomfortable. She just can't seem to sit still. And maybe she was like this before, but I would be surprised if this is how she's presented
nervous,
before
twitchy.
she was incarcerated. So here's me with
You
my
guys are taking
conspiracy
notes,
hat.
right? Make
I have
sure you're
zero
taking
evidence
notes
for this.
because
What I'm
we're gonna
about to
use
say.
this.
It's just a feeling that I've
We're gonna
got
use
based
this
on
in
the
a few
rhythm and the
minutes.
way that
Just
she
stay
speaks.
with me here.
I do wonder if she's trying to get a message out to somebody. I do wonder if there's things that she's saying.
We're all just
that are in a
watching this
sense
together
coded
and
that somebody
learning.
else will understand
We're
what
learning
she
how to
means.
study
The
body
rest of us
language.
don't. There's
We all
things that
kind
she
of already
says, the way
know
that she says them,
some
and
things on
that's
our
the way
own,
that
but
it
we're
comes
learning more
across, as
from an
though she's
expert,
trying
and
to tell
we're going to
somebody
use
something
it
specific
on someone
Once again,
later.
That is
Just
based in nothing other.
stay with me.
than
You have a
that's
good
what
time,
it seems
and
like to me.
keep watching.
I'm not saying that that's true. I have no evidence of that. And I'll tell you, anytime I don't have the evidence for what I'm talking about, I'm going to tell you it's just very strongly my opinion on this, but it is nothing more than just the way that it seems to me. Now let's jump ahead to something more relevant that she talks about.
So I wish that I had been more successful at moving on, because I became a banker, so I should have, moved on completely. At the time, I wouldn't have had a problem introducing people to my friends to him, because I didn't know.
And her,
it was so
Jeff guy.
awful.
All right, so now she's talking about how awful Jeffrey Epstein is. She's saying, I didn't know. She starts laughing, and this is a way to self-soothe. She's rubbing her eyes.
Was
she's
bringing
laughing
all the girls,
as she's trying to tell
paying
what,
them.
By my estimation, is very much a
She
lie.
knew exactly what was going on.
She
you
can't
guys.
get it
Come
out
on.
without laughing and without doing things to soothe herself, because that's oftentimes what we look at when people are trying to be deceptive. How much do they need to soothe themselves because they feel uncomfortable with the lie they're telling, or they're afraid that people aren't going to believe it, that sort of thing.
Fake bitch. Sorry,
so
guys, my bad. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to say that.
I mean, obviously now, looking back with hindsight, of course, but at the time, I mean, he had lots of friends. I mean, he was friendly with just about everybody you can imagine. There was no reason to imagine that he was someone of interest.
Everybody you can imagine.
This is another thing that a very particularly phrased, very interesting statement by her. Listen to this again.
I mean, he had lots of friends. I mean,
he had lots of friends. Starts stroking her cheek. Once again, that's a very strong sign of trying to pacify oneself. So as she's saying this, she's feeling discomfort for sure.
Friendly with just about everybody you can imagine.
Friendly with leaves a gap. Trying to find the right way to phrase it, because I think she's trying to be very careful with her words right here. With just about everyone you could imagine.
Friendly with just about everybody you can imagine. There was no reason to imagine that he was someone of interest to people.
So basically, because of the people he was associating with, you should trust him, or you should believe that I trusted him because of who he was associating with. Very interesting. And that's the kind of thing that makes people continue to go, well, there's probably some kind of blackmail list then. Like this all seems too coincidental.
Exactly.
And he obviously was very well connected. We know he has more connections than just the people I'm covering today. Now she's going to be talking about a well-known photograph of Prince Andrew with Virginia Giuffre.
It's a fake. I don't believe that. I don't believe it's real for a second. In fact, I'm sure it's not. There's never been an original. And further, there's no photograph. Right? And I've only ever seen a photocopy of it. I don't
So she starts speaking very strongly. It's fake. It's basically saying, I completely disavow this.
believe it happened.
And now she says, I don't believe it happened.
And it's certainly the way as described.
Certainly the way as described. So it's getting weaker and weaker. If you ask somebody to repeat a lie, it gets harder and harder to do.
Like two different
So the
stories.
first time you lie, sometimes you can get it out, but she's continuing to talk about it. And each time she's saying something, it's getting weaker and weaker, which is showing she's being deceptive. I do not believe that she thinks that this is a fake. There's nothing about her body language or her statements that make me think that that's in fact true.
Photograph, right? And I've only ever seen a photocopy of it. I don't believe it happened.
Wow.
And
Sorry,
it's
this chair
certainly
is
the way
loud,
as
you guys. I know
described.
you hear it, 'cause
She
I
is
can
putting
hear
her
it.
hair
Pretty
behind her
loud.
ear. We're seeing her ventilate her hair. She's very uncomfortable right now.
It would have been impossible.
She's nervous.
I don't have any memory of going to tramp. Certainly not in the outfit that I would have tramp.
And now you see her rubbing her hands together. There's something about this picture that really
I
distresses
mean, if they're at
her
something
more than some of the other
fancy,
things
she
she's
wasn't
talked
wearing
about,
a fancy
which is very
outfit,
interesting to me.
so,
So I guess the relationship with Prince Andrew,
Photoshop's
something about
been around since what, you guys
that
think?
brings her a lot of distress when talking about this, I
02?
suspect. So as we watch this, and as we see what I believe are lies, that creates a problem
is
if she
interesting.
wants to speak in front of Congress, because at that point she has now impeached her credibility, and there's going to be somewhat less value unless she's able to give some very specifics that can be evidenced elsewhere. If she can do that, if all it is
she's
talk
giving
and
up
she's just
everything
explaining
right there
things
on the
that
phone
might
and
go
in that visit.
somewhere, but it probably won't go far. If she's able to provide evidence and they can back that up and confirm it elsewhere, then that's about the only way that she's going to get some kind of reputation where people will believe what she has to say.
This episode, we broke down the Bondi Trump Epstein situation. I'll give you a percentage. 100% dodging the issue, 100% out of their depth on this one. Chase?
The highest stress that we saw throughout this entire thing was about the intelligence agency connections. Everybody was stressed out from Marco Rubio to Trump, right? Yeah, I agree with you both. If you go look at these videos, you will see them go through the roof with blink rate and indicate they have superior stress to anything else going on when the agents mentioned.
This is where we're seeing people at their highest stress they've ever been at in their lives. We're seeing our leaders
Rubio didn't look
under the
stressed
most
to
stress
me.
they've ever experienced. And we're learning how they lead.
Rubio didn't look stressed at all to me, you guys. Not at all. He looked comfortable. He looks like he's going to run in 28. That's why he didn't say shit. His face movements were all simple. You know what? I hope you guys all took notes, because it is time. We're going to have a good time, man. There's a crooked motherfucker right here that's one of the, I mean, to me, he might be one of the world's best salesmen. You know, he's very deceitful. I'm concerned about this motherfucker because it seems like anybody that ever meets him in person ends up liking him. He knows how to be a chameleon. It's concerning, man, because, even though this motherfucker's done a bad job,
David, the mayor says the city is taking action
I'm
against
worried.
these ICE raids. Mayor Bass called it a political stunt.
everything we learned,
in California.
you guys
We have
ready?
a man that wants to give away everything to people that nobody's seen before.
Let's see.
In the coastal neighborhood Pacific Palisades, multiple homes
We
completely engulfed in flames.
can use what we
Desperate
learned
residents rushing to get out.
on Mr. Crooksome,
So everybody gets a gift.
or whatever he's
Jeez,
called.
what do you got, man? Here we go. You ready for this?
Look, oh, Jesus.
Ready for this?
This is an accident. I got to report this gift, man.
That is a California compliant Sig Sauer P365 macro.
Come on, man.
I don't know exactly what makes
By the
it.
way, this is too cool. The fact that you would give me this.
You
can't
like
even
that?
look this up. So you just want me to TSA to take this from me and my ass is arrested at the airport. I'm on to you, man.
Well, I got a buddy at SIG, and now he was like, you got to
only
get a
TSA
SIG.
probably in
Make
Cali.
this up. Brother, this is
So-
fabulous.
Brother.
You know what?
See how he
Last
does
thing
this, you
people would
guys?
expect is that I respect this gift.
Really?
I appreciate. Yeah, man. I'm not anti-gun at all. I'm for just some gun safe common sense. Yeah,
See
man.
how he does this,
I'm
you
not
guys?
anti-gun at all. I'm for
Listen to him.
just some gun safe common sense.
Fake motherfucker, liar. Man, you look, in California, if someone breaks into your home and you're strapped up and you shoot them, you're going to jail for murder if you don't leave out your back door. If you have a back door, you have to leave out your back door. If you shoot them, you're going down for murder. This motherfucker wrote that into law.
that I think
He
vast
signed it
majority
into
of
law.
folks on the right and the left agree. And I think we've lost a little touch with some common sense around background checks. I think there's an age appropriateness. I do have some, I'm challenged by large capacity magazine clips in urban centers. Weapons of war.
Weapons
that are
of
out there,
war.
sometimes outgunning the police.
Weapons of war. Come on, weapons of war. We can't buy weapons of war legally, Gavin. Can't do that. So what are you talking about, weapons of war? All the guns we could buy, we're supposed to be able to buy. It's part of the amendment. You know what I'm saying? We're allowed. I mean, it's not for hunting either.
And I've experienced that directly with the loss of a police officer who was gunned down by an AK-47, and the police were outgunned in Bayview Hunters Point in San Francisco.
Hunters Point. An AK-47 isn't legal, Gavin. Why bring that up? This guy is a master at deception and wordplay, you guys. I'm telling you. Man.
But otherwise, man, people have the right to bear arms. And
Look at him.
I've got no ideological opposition to that at all.
Do you think... I was going to...
By the way.
You're welcome.
That's crazy. Last damn thing I expected. I expected a hat, okay? You gave me a goddamn gun.
Well, I got another gift for you, too.
You? What is that?
All right, here we go.
Jeez.
It's my favorite
I mean,
one.
how you going to make up... What is this, man?
Vigilance League gummy bears, legal in all 50 states. I'm hoping you brought me some California gummy bears.
Brother, that's, by the way, when I did that gun safety initiative, I also did
There's a story
the
behind it.
legalization of cannabis for adult use in California.
Yeah, so he could tax us more. He also just raised our taxes on weed when we buy it from a dispensary, you guys. He did. He just raised it on July 1st from 14% to 19%. That's why he helped write it into law. Plus, I think he owns one of the, spots, doesn't he?
Right on.
That means only
I could
reinforces
be wrong
my
about that one. Don't hold me on that last one.
Bona fides or whatever.
But he did just raise the taxes. What was that? Watch this again.
That means only reinforces my progressive, bona fides or whatever.
Man, this motherfucker's
That
fake.
means only reinforces my progressive, bona fides or whatever. That word bona fide, whatever the hell. Thank you, man.
This guy
Look at this.
loves
I'm
me,
advertising this. Look at this.
Scares me, you guys.
You're
It
welcome.
scares me.
And
Gummies and a gun.
Gummies and a
Gummies
gun.
and a gun.
Gummies and a
The
gun.
hell is that? And we just started this.
But
I want to see what happens at the end. What else?
so I just posted a picture of us at breakfast, and about 2 minutes after
You guys
I
ready?
post,
What do you got?
Joe Rogan texted me.
Motherfucker.
You guys ready? Here we go. You see that motherfucker?
Joe Rogan texted me.
Motherfucker.
Motherfucker. Let's hear that again. Do it again.
Joe Rogan texted me.
Motherfucker.
And again. Tell me what you guys think.
Joe Rogan texted me.
Motherfucker.
Again. This motherfucker's nervous. Listen to it.
Motherfucker.
Motherfucker. Watch. Watch. I mean, just.
Motherfucker. Joe.
Look at his hands.
I loved it, by the way.
That motherfucker's nervous. Did you see his hands, you guys? I'm telling you. Because he knows, man. I mean, look, he's not a good governor, man. He's fucking up. He's really messed up this state, you guys. And if he runs for president, there's a big chance he's going to win. I know you guys don't want to hear that. Someone, in Texas and all the, Florida, you're like, no way. Trust me, man.
By the way, I'm a Joe Rogan fan. He ain't a fan of mine, but I'm a Joe Rogan fan. No bullshit.
See, are you sure, Gavin? I call bullshit.
No
dude.
bullshit.
I call it. Oh, okay. I believe you now. Just like I believe Trump and his boys.
Right on.
And I've lived for I feel like it's a decade. Back in the day, before Joe was Joe Rogan.
See how he does that? Remember that. Joe Rogan,
He was just
everybody.
a podcaster, man. Now he's a phenom.
Well,
Jesus, what did Joe say?
He's a friend of mine. So this is from
Watch
Joe
out.
Rogan.
Watch out for my governor.
This is a tough one.
He won't have me on the show, by the way.
Who will be held accountable for mandating
funny.
COVID-19 vaccines for children, which were unnecessary and ineffective? And who will take responsibility for the unprecedented increases
This dude's trying not
in
to laugh while he's
myocarditis
asking
and
this.
cancer cases among them? Second to that, do you feel any remorse for that draconian decision that was obviously heavily influenced by the pharmaceutical companies' desire for maximum profit?
Yeah, I've signed some of the most progressive laws.
See that? You guys see? You see him stutter? He's nervous. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, I've signed some of the most.
You guys remember the Looney Tunes cartoon? That's Gavin right now.
Yeah, I've been.
Man, I'm telling you guys, he got him though right there on that one. But he's what?
He'll against big pharma
get
in the
out
country.
of it.
So I have receipts on that. So no one should suggest that it was about doing the bidding of big pharma. Quite the contrary. California, like many states, red states included, Florida included, moved forward early in the pandemic.
See how he
working
shifts
with the
it.
Trump
He
administration.
shifts it. He's good at
and the
that,
advisors from the Trump administration.
You guys notice that?
To impose
We learned that earlier, right?
strategies to mitigate the impacts of this
Look at
novel
his hands.
disease, coronavirus. What's interesting about this process is none of us have really reviewed in an objective way. It's all through the lens of politics, what we did right and what we did wrong. And so I'll answer that question by telling you what I've just asked. I've asked our team to put together an objective review of everything we did right, everything we did wrong. We're interviewing people that vehemently disagree with us.
Put together a
oppose
team
the
of
mask
people
mandates,
that we know
oppose the stay-at-home orders,
to write a
people that are
report.
International experts. We're stress testing our entire process. Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Sure. Who you
Comparing
stress?
and contrasting
Who
what
you
states
doing the
did.
test with?
Florida shut down their bars and restaurants before California. The question was, when did we start to unwind some of those restrictions? California was more restrictive, and we were certainly aggressive at scale. As it relates to the vaccines save lives. But Joe asked a very different question about children, and I respect that. And that was where there was a lot of feedback with a lot of experts that I had
about
as advisors.
children,
By the way, I used advisors from 2 other states. We did this West Coast Alliance to review not just what was coming from the federal government, but
Guys,
to
for
have
2 years,
on
our
the
kids
recommendations
didn't get to go to
CDC
school
through
for
our
2
own
whole
independent
years,
advisors.
man.
And I took their
I
advice.
think a little
Not as
longer,
doctor,
right?
But as a governor.
I know it was 2
So
years
with
for sure,
humility,
but maybe
seriously,
longer.
Humility and grace. I've asked them to have that report done. It's going to be done next month.
I'm not going to lie. I would have dreamed of that as a kid for me.
Including the President of the United States, who I worked very closely with. There wasn't a Democratic governor in America that worked closer during the pandemic than I did with Donald Trump. And you can go back and stress test that.
See how he does that, you
and
guys?
I say that with the kind of humility he deserves as well.
Look at that. You see?
Grace that he deserves in terms of the
He
decisions
knows the
made
dude
early
interviewing him
we
is a
were all
Trump
up against
supporter.
something none of us had any experience around, and we counted on the experts.
See how you guys see how he did that? Do you guys see what he just did? He just complimented Trump, but not out of sincerity. He did it out of salesmanship. There's a big difference. Gavin can read a room, and Gavin will say anything to sell everyone in that room, man. This is a master class in salesmanship, you guys. I worry everyone will fall for this guy, man. They're going to fall for his deceptiveness, man. One more time and you'll notice it. Watch.
And I say that with the kind of humility he deserves as well, and grace, or rather, grace that he deserves in terms of the decisions he made early on.
Okay. This interview is over. You guys, it was like I think it was 4 hours and 20 minutes, 4.5 hours long. If you want to watch it, I put the link below. Don't ask me how I did it, but yeah, I watched all of it, kind of. All of this shit that you're seeing here is all fake talk and smiles and jibber jabber. That's what the whole fucking interview's like. But, I'll give you a little more, but wait till you see or hear the final question. But let's watch a little more. But wait till you see the final. You're going to laugh your ass off.
I think people, there's sort of blood sport, take everybody down, own the lib, own whatever. Same thing. Trump, I mean, look, Trump and I ain't timid, brother. I'm flooding the zone. I'm hitting back on Trump.
He is, and he does, man. I'm not. I worry about that, you guys.
All in on that.
You guys notice you see him all the time?
Same time he called, pick up the phone. I bet if I called him literally right now, he'd pick it up. No
You
bullshit.
should have said, call him right now.
I think that's
should
healthy
have.
at the end of the day.
You should have been like, call him right now.
I do too.
He should have, man. Okay. You ready for the final question? Here we go. I don't think Gavin is, I don't think he's lying in this answer either, man. Let's see what you guys think. I don't, man. I think he's telling the truth.
I got a personal question for you.
Jesus Christ. Boxers.
I gotta ask. I've always wondered this.
What's that, man?
How did your ex-wife wind up with Trump Jr.?
Wow. You guys hear that? Trump Jr.
How do you go from Gavin Newsom to Trump Jr.?
First Lady of San Francisco.
Wow.
Crazy, right? She was always
that's fucking crazy.
Real crazy.
No, she always had a prosecutorial mindset.
The fuck?
And a great immigrant dad from Ireland. Was sort of a rock star, back to sort of bootstraps.
Yeah.
Great guy, huge supporter of mine.
So?
Till the day he passed away. And just always had my back, even after the divorce. And she lost her mom early, and he kind of shaped her up. I mean, had to toughen her up. Man, you're on your own. We're on our own. And she always sort of had that sort of mindset. And again, as a prosecutor, a prosecutorial mindset. So she leaned in that direction. Definitely more progressive, moderate values. And I don't mean this as a pejorative. I don't mean this
aggressive.
as
That
a
Kimberly
cheap
girl
shot.
from Fox?
It's not considered. But when Roger Ailes hired her to go on Fox, just changed. I think in some ways, if you go on Fox, you have to put a mask on and your face grows in it.
That was funny. That was fucking funny, man. That was funny. I never heard that before. That's funny. There's a lot, man.
You have to put a mask on and your face grows in it.
That was good, man. See what I mean, you guys? Man, I'm telling you, he could talk.
Otherwise, you're not going to last on Fox. And that was sort of my sense. But her face grew into it, meaning she became, in many respects, really started.
You don't got to explain it.
You know, she was a real believer in Trump.
You know what you meant.
When she was on the 5. I remember talking to Trump in the Oval. He brought her up because she's been appointed as ambassador, or has been appointed, it's about to be confirmed.
You guys know why that's funny. Because Donald Jr. got caught with another woman. A few weeks later, Trump announced Gavin's ex-wife that Jr. took from him is going to be ambassador to Greece after he got caught. That means she's fucking moving to Greece. That's the backstory. Now think about what Gavin just said. Trump brought up in the Oval Office to Gavin that his ex-wife that Jr. snatched up and boned down for like 5 years, ended up trading her in, is now nominated for ambassador to Greece.
And he brought her up out of nowhere. We're sitting there, and he said she was my biggest supporter back then. I mean, he was very loyal in that respect, which I appreciated.
Actor Malcolm Jamal Warner, who has died at the age of 54, perhaps best known for his role on the hit sitcom The Cosby Show. Officials say he drowned off the coast of Costa Rica on vacation.
Yes, this is Theodore Huxtable.
He graced the TV screens of millions of Americans for years as Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show.
You will always be my son. Thanks, Dad.
And now fans around the country are mourning the sudden loss of Malcolm Jamal Warner. Officials say the actor was on vacation when he drowned in the Caribbean Sea at this beach in Limón, Costa Rica, Sunday afternoon.
Al llegar al lugar, encontramos dos hombres adultos.
First responders saying Warner and another man were swept away by a strong current, which is common in that area. Bystanders tried to rescue Warner, but by the time authorities arrived at the scene, he had no pulse. Following The Cosby Show, Warner went on to star in other sitcoms and appeared in guest roles on shows over the years. Most recently, Warner was a series regular on the TV drama The Resident.
You find me a study that shows that the robotic approach.
Warner recently began a podcast about Black life in America.
We're saying not all hood, saying that the hood is bad, but the concept is like what the media shows us is one side of Black culture.
Looking back at his decades-long career, Warner had this to say in 2013.
I'd say my proudest achievement is being able to have a post-Cosby life and a post-Cosby career and still have my head on as straight as possible. And I've had such an awesome life.
British rock star Ozzy Osbourne has died at the age of 76. I want to put up this post that we have from the New York Post that they made on their X account saying Black Sabbath legend Ozzy Osbourne, the Prince of Darkness, dead at the age of 76. So these reports just started coming into our newsroom. I want to put up some video here as well for you, but we do ultimately know that the British rock star has died and he was, quote, surrounded by love. This is all according to his family. The cause of death at this time is unclear, but the Osbourne family did release a statement to the British media saying that it is with more sadness than mere words can convey that we have to report that our beloved Ozzy Osbourne has passed away this morning. Ozzy's family continues to say that he was with his family and surrounded by love. We ask everyone to respect our family privacy at this time.
Donald Trump, he's making a claim that will be heard the world over of accusing a perceived political enemy of treason. Only this time, the subject was his first-term predecessor, former President Barack Obama.
The leader of the gang was President Obama.
Yes, he really just said that.
The leader of the gang was President Obama. He's guilty. It's not a question. I like to say
let's give it time. It's there. He's guilty. This was treason. This was every word you can think of. They tried to steal the election.
Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, said that President Obama's officials engaged in a, quote, seditious conspiracy and hid evidence that Russia did not interfere in the 2016 election. Donald Trump's claims today, an accusation of a crime that is punishable by death.
And she has certainly in return been loyal to him. And that sort of
you guys tune in for my next episode. I'll tell you what it is in a minute.
Long-windedly, I guess, the relationship with Junior. The relationship with Junior.
Poor Gavin. Look at his hand movement, guys.
Man, you know, that's...
This guy's an actor.
Well, I wish he drank because we'd have a few beers and stuff. This is the uncomfortable version of Newsom.
Telling you guys, you gotta trust me, man. We don't want him running for president. He's a chameleon. He's a chameleon, man. We don't want him running, man. I'm telling you, it's very dangerous. He can win. I'm telling you, I know you guys are like, no, that's impossible. No, it's very possible, you guys. Trust me. But there's one final thing I want you to hear from him, just to prove my point to you. How?
And now they're being told to mask up. I mean, there was no masks. I told you they're getting selfies out there where they're beloved in Santa Monica. Now, man, all that reputational damage that's being done as they're sitting there on horses with American flags running through soccer fields, scaring kids that are playing soccer in the middle of the day at a summer camp. For what? Just toughness. It's a weakness masquerading as strength. That's what I don't like about this son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. See what I'm saying? He plays hardball, man.
I don't. And forgive me, I know he's the president of the States. Forgive me, I didn't, yeah, he calls me new scum. Come on. How do I explain that to my kid? Now I have my kids' friends calling my kids new scum.
You guys see what I mean? He's a master of deception. He can play the words. You just watched and witnessed a masterclass.
Yeah, he calls me new scum. Come on.
Look.
How do I explain that to my kid? Now I have my kids' friends calling my kids new scum.
Masterclass. Fucking complete masterclass, man. But before we leave, I want you guys to see some, check this out.
In the National Hockey League last night, Washington beat Toronto 3-2.
Thank you.
Unit 50 down. Bummy, rocking everywhere. Bummy, rocking everywhere. Bummy, rocking everywhere. Rocking everywhere. I found you. Make new and bummy. Make me a bummy and bring it back to me. More coriander. Right in front of you. I took a plan on it. Do you know what I done? Found you. Make new and bummy.
use drugs to stay awake.
Yeah, nah, I don't mess with that stuff. That's not the way. I keep myself up with energy drinks.
Yo, what up, MTV Cribs? It's Section 8 and 8. Welcome to my crib, man. Come on in. Alright, so check it out, yo. This is my hat. First, let me show y'all to the kitchen, man. We gotta eat. You know, always got people in here eating. EBT, keep people full. You feel me? So we right here, man. Hey, check it out. Yeah, man, and of course, you know, I got a little entertainment system. So sometimes the homies like to chill right here, man. TV, flat screen, TV, portable flat screen. You feel me? Portable flat screen. 2025.
Yeah. Shady. Aftermath. Reunite. Damn, baby, all you need is a little bit. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Pork dropping in the bun when you eat it quick. Bun me so hot, auntie working in the back. Go break that thing like a chicken wing. When you make it go up and down, go fry that wing with the onion ring. Let me up that Chinatown. Step up in the shop, I'm like, what you eat? V-Unit in the house, yeah, that my shit. Yeah, I'm 50 dong, I'm an old dude. I dance with your mom, she say don't be rude. I hit your ass up, boy, I warn you. Don't look at my dog or it back at you. Don't.
All right, man, I'm out. I'll see you guys on episode 13. Thanks for coming.
All right.
Robot soccer team.
The biggest AI news of this week, this band, the Velvet Sundown, going absolutely viral on Spotify.
No, but with the Timbaland situation, what became apparent is that you saw someone in real time who, by the way, is actually the creative advisor for Suno, create a new version and commit copyright infringement.
I have a like a super basic question. When you say you're going to do Spotify and do Apple, like what exactly does that mean?
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years.
What about people who say you're only interested in the Middle East for oil?